There was a night when you were on the grass. Do you remember it? The air carried the scent of the earth after the rain, a deep, ancient fragrance that seemed to cleanse not only the world, but also something inside you. Your bare feet felt the fresh moisture of the leaves, each blade a little caress, a reminder of your connection to the ground that sustains us. The crickets sang their timeless symphony, a melody that has been around longer than any worry that has ever weighed on your shoulders. The sky, a dark velvet dotted with distant stars, seemed like an immense blanket, promising secrets and vastness. You took a deep breath, and for an instant, just an instant, everything made sense without needing words. There were no notifications flashing in the periphery of your vision, no to-do lists echoing in your mind. Just presence. Yours, that of the night, that of the universe pulsing in unison. A sense of belonging so simple, so fundamental, that it almost hurt for its purity. You looked at your hands, illuminated by the pale light of the moon or perhaps just by the memory of that light. They seemed capable of creating, of holding, of consoling. At that moment, they weren't tools of productivity, but extensions of your curious soul, ready to touch mystery. The wind blew gently, a whisper between the trees, and you felt as if it were telling stories of ancient times, of cycles that repeat themselves, of beginnings and endings that are just bends in the same river. And you were part of that river, flowing effortlessly, without resistance. That memory, or one like it, lives somewhere inside you. A sanctuary of stillness. A point of reference when the map of the present seems too blurred to read. Keep it. It's a beacon. Perhaps it was childhood, the smell of cake baking and carefree laughter echoing through the house. Or the touch of a beloved hand, a hug that said more than 1,000 speeches. A moment when time bowed and you fully inhabited the now. These fragments of pure gold are yours. No one can take them away. They are proof that beauty and peace are not abstractions, but lived experiences, engraved on your skin, in your heart. Remember the warmth of the sun on your skin after a cold swim. The sensation of fine sand trickling through your toes. The sound of the waves breaking, a constant rhythm that soothes the soul. These are your treasures. Your anchors. The world is buzzing louder now, isn't it? The air seems charged with a different kind of electricity, an urgency that doesn't invite contemplation but demands immediate action. Your gaze is caught, fragmented between screens that promise connection but often only deliver more noise. Pauses seem like a luxury, almost a transgression. Silence is unknown territory, perhaps even feared. There's a subtle, persistent voice whispering that you should be doing more, being more, achieving more. A voice that is not yours, but that you have internalized. That simple connection with the earth, with the sky, seems distant, like a faded photograph of a place you're not sure still exists. The grass beneath your feet has been replaced by cold concrete or the polished shine of the floors that reflect your own hurried image. You find yourself scrolling endlessly through edited lives, through inflammatory opinions, through news stories that scream for your attention, each one promising to be the most important, the most urgent. And at the end of the day, you're left with a tiredness that doesn't come from the body, but from the soul. A feeling of running on a treadmill, with the landscape changing rapidly but never getting anywhere. And the silent question begins to form, is that it? Where am I going in such a hurry? The repeated lie that happiness lies in the next click, the next purchase, the next achievement. The illusion that we need to be constantly switched on so as not to miss something essential, when, in fact, the essential is lost precisely in this frantic search. That's where the wait begins. In the disconnection. In the speed that doesn't allow us to feel. In the comparison that robs you of the joy of your own rhythm, your own journey. You feel it, don't you? A lightness that has been stolen, a breath that has become shorter. The days become a succession of tasks, obligations, expectations, yours and those of others. And that melody of the crickets, that starry expanse, seem like dreams of another life, another you. The body shows signs. A tension in your shoulders, a persistent headache, a knot in your stomach. They're messengers, trying to tell you something that your overly busy mind refuses to hear. And loneliness, even surrounded by people, even connected to thousands virtually, can set in. A loneliness that stems from the lack of a true encounter with oneself. Your brightest minds, the minds of our age, are paid fortunes to keep you scrolling, to hold your attention for another second, another minute. There's no inherent evil in that, perhaps. It's just a system that feeds on glances, clicks, time. Productivity has become a kind of modern deity, demanding daily sacrifices on the altar of efficiency. Rest is seen as laziness, contemplation as a waste of time. And being busy has become a badge of honor, even if that busyness is empty of meaning. We've built a labyrinth of notifications, of constant demands, where stillness is swallowed up by the next alert. And we've been told that this is progress, that this is the way things should be. That speed is synonymous with progress. The promise of constant connection, but a loneliness that deepens, because true connection requires presence, vulnerability, time, things that have become scarce. Conversations are interrupted by furtive glances at mobile phones, moments are lived through a lens, to be shared later rather than felt now. The narratives they tell us about success, about happiness, about what a life well lived means, are often prefabricated scripts that don't take into account their unique inner landscape, their deepest longings. We're sold the idea that we need more things, more followers, more external validation, to be complete. And in this incessant search for more, we forget what we already have, what we already are. Cities grow, lights multiply, and the starry sky becomes a memory for few. The rhythm of nature, with its pauses and cycles, is replaced by the relentless rhythm of machines and markets. It's not about blaming, you understand. It's just about observing. It's about recognizing the invisible chains that pull us, the lullabies that lull us to sleep to our own truth. The culture of the now, of the immediate, robs us of patience for the slow flowering, the maturing of ideas, the healing of wounds. We want quick solutions, instant results, and we get frustrated when life insists on its own time. And so we often sleepwalk through life, fulfilling roles, following flows, without questioning whether this is the path our soul would choose if it had a moment to breathe and be heard. But listen, deep down, under all these layers of noise and expectations, there is something that has never been lost. Something that is essentially yours, untouched. You were never in pieces, just buried under the algorithms, under the pressures, under the weight of the modern world. There's a river in you, an ancient flow that knows the way to the sea, even if it's temporarily dammed up. This river is your life force, your intuition, your innate capacity for healing and renewal. It keeps flowing, even if the sound is low. The stars still shine, even if the city lights obscure them. They are a reminder of your inner vastness, of your connection to something greater, eternal. You carry the dust of these stars in your veins. Like a seed waiting patiently under the cold winter soil, there is a dormant potential in you, just waiting for the right conditions to sprout. The rain of self-compassion, the sun of self-acceptance. The fire that warmed your ancestors around campfires, telling stories under the cover of night, that same primordial fire burns in your chest. It's your passion, your creativity, your divine spark. Sometimes it becomes embers, but it never goes out completely. The wind that caressed your face that night on the grass, it still blows. It's the breath of life, your own breath. Every inhale is an opportunity to start again, every exhale a chance to release what no longer serves. You are not a broken machine in need of repair. You are a living, organic being, in constant transformation, like a forest that regenerates after a fire, like a mountain that withstands storms. This forgotten truth is that you are already complete. You already have everything you need inside you to navigate the turbulent waters. The compass is there, in your heart, waiting to be consulted. It's not about finding something new, it's about remembering something old. It's about removing the veils that cover your inner light. It's about retuning to the frequency of your own soul. This force doesn't shout, it whispers. It doesn't impose, it invites. And it has been with you all along, patiently waiting for you to stop and listen to it. So breathe. Just breathe. Feel the air entering and leaving your lungs. Such a simple act, so fundamental, and yet so powerful. There's nothing to be conquered right now, nothing to be proved. Allow yourself to pause, even for a minute. Switch off the external noise and listen to the silence beneath it. In that silence, there are answers. In that silence, there is peace. It's not about changing the world outside, not now. It's about finding your center in here. A small gesture of kindness towards yourself. A glance at the sky, even if it's just a little piece between the buildings. Feel the texture of your clothes, the warmth of your cup of tea, the sound of your own breathing. Little portals to the present. Small anchors in immediate reality, the one that doesn't require performance. You don't need to have all the answers right now. Nobody does. You're allowed not to know. You're allowed to be tired. You're allowed to be imperfect. Life is not a test with a template. Remember that night on the grass, or any moment when you felt truly alive and connected. Bring that feeling into the now. It's an internal resource, always available. There's no need for great heroic deeds. True courage often lies in stillness, in the ability to face yourself with honesty and compassion. In the act of choosing pause over haste. Let the weight flow off your shoulders like water. You don't have to carry it alone. In fact, much of it isn't even yours to carry. Trust in your ability to navigate. Trust in the river that flows through you. It knows where to go. Just allow yourself to float for a moment, instead of fighting the current. The world will continue to turn, with its demands and its urgencies. But you can choose your own internal rhythm. You can choose to cultivate your secret garden of peace. You don't have to be huge to matter. You just need to be awake. And maybe, just maybe, this awakening begins with conscious breathing, here and now. And that, my friend, is everything.